Alright folks, this week we're going to talk about why is Ethereum sticky? Is it something that can just be turned off? Is it something that we can all just forget about and leave behind? My argument to that is no, because Ethereum is a common language, it's a set of standards, and it's the application of those standards that creates the Ethereum network. And so as long as a group of people is willing to implement that, then it will stay around. It's kind of hard to kill a language. It's hard to destroy a set of ideas because all of this stuff is public. All of this stuff is put out in the open. People have an idea. They say, hey, like, what if we did this? People comment on it. It gets condensed. It gets simplified and improved. It gets made into a standard, and then we adopt this standard. And you're probably already familiar with this in your life. Of course, there's the ISO standards for country codes, which allow us to communicate the same thing, the same country, in these standardized formats, in a 2-letter code, in a 3-letter code, and a numeric code. And this sort of thing allows us to keep it around, right? Like, this isn't going anywhere. Once it's a standard, once it's adopted, it's sticky, right? People adopt it, people use it. Now it's a thing. It's not going to go away. We're going to continue using country codes. And the same goes for a lot of standards in a lot of industries. They can be improved and changed, right? But for the most part, they're going to stick around. The same thing applies to Bitcoin blockchain and applies to the Ethereum blockchain. These are just communities of people. These are just your regular old friends who are interested in it, can create standards, can propose them, improve them, comment on them, and the application of those standards is what creates the protocol. It creates a network. And you've already used one of these. You used BIP39 standard, which was created in 2013. It was published. And the motivation for this is to create turn computer-generated randomness into something that a human can read and write down. You wrote down your 12 words for your seed phrase, which you're not going to give to anyone. That's only for you. Remember, don't share that. That represents randomness that was generated on your computer, but now humans can use it, right? So now we can communicate this thing. And then you used another one, which was BIP44, which was published in 2014, which allows us to take that 12 words and derive multiple accounts from that 12 words. So the seed phrase you have on your desk right now, you can create lots of accounts from that using the BIP44 standard. And you don't need to know all the details of this. The point is that, these are standards, these are something that we all agreed upon, and it allows us to communicate the same thing across the entire globe with many different people. So speaking of communicating, what I'd like you to do is copy your address from MetaMask and communicate that to me. So send it to me in an email, send it on Discord, however you like to communicate. And before the next lesson, I'll send you some tokens so we can start playing around. Another thing that I want to point out is that these EIPs, these Bitcoin improvement proposals, they're public, right? This is a public common language, and to demonstrate that, I'm actually the co-author of one of these EIPs, 1822. So anyone can participate. Anyone can be a part of this if you're willing to put forth the effort and work on it. So as far as resources go, before next week, if you're interested, you can go to mycrypto.com. And actually, I do want to point out that last week I sent you to metamask.io, and there is actually a phishing scam. If you go to metamask.com, I had a friend who actually got his wallet compromised. So remember, website addresses are very important, that you type them in properly and you don't just search for them on Google. So this is you're responsible now. You have more power, but you also have more responsibility, like I said, to be sure that you're going to the right website. So mycrypto.com. There is a ton of great resources. If you actually go to the bottom of the page and hit the help and support tab, tons of resources here for answering questions and getting started. There's a glossary which talks more about what an account is and what a public key is and all that sort of thing. So copy your address, send it to me, and I'll see you at the next lesson.